you guys.
Hi.
My name is Dupé, Aleru. I am a keynote speaker and curriculum and online course developer. So I just, show of hands, how many of you guys have an online brand online? Personal brand online? You guys, everyone here? Seems like everyone does. So Manny asked me to come today and talk about building an online brand in 2019, right? So the biggest ROI to building an online brand in 2019 is really to fundamentally master the art of staying top of mind, yes?
Yes.
And we do that by leveraging social media. So we've all seen probably hundreds of thousands of social media influencers online who've made millions of dollars, who have made tremendous impact by leveraging social media. And most of these social media influencers have done this from scratch, meaning that they didn't have any celebrity status before they began. And so the question I want you to ask yourself is, how can I command attention without demanding attention? See, when you command attention, you naturally attract people towards you, right? By your presence and the information that you're going to provide. But when you demand attention, you're almost forcefully, right, interrupting people by placing your message onto them. And so raise your hand if you guys should have heard of Gary Vee, right?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, so keep your hands up if you guys have read his book, Jab, 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 Right Hook.
Some of it.
Some of it? Okay. So he explains in that book the meaning of that title. Jab, 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 Right Hook stands for give, 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 then ask. And the whole notion behind that is when you give value up front without any expectation of receiving anything back in return, people will naturally want to support you. So when you have products and services available, you don't have to shove it down their throats, right? They're going to want to support you. So for me personally, I honestly didn't always have a personal brand. It was probably around October 2017. I just overcame a tremendous, pretty much like a life-threatening surgery. I had 22 tumors removed. That was my second surgery, 39 tumors altogether. And something just hit me. I was like, I'm done. I'm done sitting back, wasting time, watching other people. How many of you guys have said this? I could do that, but yet you're not doing it, right? So I remember going to, it was Eric Thomas. You guys know Eric Thomas, the motivational speaker? I went to his event and I was sitting in the audience and I remember listening to Inky Johnson in particular. And I realized, you know what? It's not the lack of my talents, it's that I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared. That whole event was about being in preparation, right? And so what I did was I said, you know what? 2018, I'm going to start my motivational speaking journey. And I made a promise to myself. Literally, I got prepared. 2 months later, I booked my first keynote, okay? And I'm saying all this to say because from the outside, a lot of people see the obvious, right? Well put together, well spoken, social influence, but what they don't see are the scars, the medical bills, right? The day-to-day struggle that I have to deal with due to my cause, or my condition, I should say. So for me, what I was able to do was really change my mindset. Because once my mindset shifted, right, my entire universe around me shifted as well. And I realized that my purpose was beyond myself. It wasn't about me, it was about the impact that I could make in other people's lives, yes? And so, what I want to share with you guys today, raise your hand if you guys want to learn a little bit of tips on how I was able to grow my personal brand. Okay, so today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 3 C's to building an online brand that sells without selling. Okay, this is key, without selling. So the first C is clarity, right? What are you good at? What are you passionate about? What makes you tick to the point that without it, you will feel like there is no you, right? And so this is the thing, self-awareness is the common denominator on why people fail in life and business and why they succeed, right? You're either gonna sink or swim based on how well you know yourself. And we've all seen many people who try to mimic other people, right? Doing the things that they probably are not as passionate about that they should be focusing on. So what I want to share with you guys is how you guys can gain that clarity, okay? Now, as a child, I was pretty much good at everything other than school. So growing up, literally at 10 years old, I was the one trying to race kids on the block for money. I was the one going door to door selling almonds. You heard me right, almonds. Mm-hmm. So my dad actually owned a restaurant called Chubby's Diner, and he would come home with these big boxes of almonds, and I would literally open the packages and repackage them and go door to door selling them. So at a young age, I had that entrepreneurship spirit. But I would say my superpower was the gift of gab, right? Being able to speak. And my report cards show that because they all said excessive talking. And my parents would always say that my mouth ran like water. And it was funny because my parents always thought that I would become an attorney or some sort of that, and I became a teacher. And that led me down the path to being a keynote speaker. And so clarity, understanding who you are, right? Then you can go to the next step. So what's the first C? Clarity. Okay, the second C is content, okay? So once you understand who you are and what you want to do, the question you should ask yourself is, what do I know that other people need to know and are willing to pay a price to learn it, okay? So what do you know that you can offer other people and they're willing to pay for that? So it probably was 2014. It was 1 year of owning my brick and mortar education company. So I've owned a tutoring company for 8 years. I recently closed it down so I can speak full time and really follow my true passion. But during that time, I ended up just walking into a local high school. And I said, listen, I want to partner with you guys. I want to develop a curriculum. And they were all ears. I was surprised. And they told me up front, listen, we don't have any funding, but this is something that you want to do, go for it. So I went back to the drawing board. I ended up developing a 90-page curriculum. Literally a week before school started, went back to the principal and showed him, and he was blown away. He's like, wait a minute, we're going to have to find funding for this. And he literally found 5 figures. And my curriculum has been funded and implemented for 5 years, going on 6 years, okay? And I'm saying all that to say is that, clarity, I knew what I was good at. Did I know that 4 years later, I would be known as one of the leading authorities for curriculum and online course development for celebrities, top earner speakers, coaches, and authors? No. But I stuck to what I knew how to do, right? And that led me to developing curriculums for government agencies. I mean, you name it, I've been in every industry helping them build out their online courses. So content comes in many forms. So once you understand what it is that you're great at, what kind of form of content are you going to come up with? So I have my own methodology, and we don't want to be here forever, so I'm just going to keep it short. But it's called the AVID content, okay? So AAVID, all right? The first A stands for authoritative and written content. So this is when you would find blogs and written content on LinkedIn, Twitter, right? Facebook. Then you have the other A, which is audio, okay? Busy bees like me, we like audio content. Every morning when I'm working out, I'm listening to Les Brown, Tony Robbins. I'm always listening to some form of audio content, right? And the next form is video. That's what the V stands for, video content. And that's what I really want to focus on. So video content, if you guys follow me on social media, raise your hand if you follow me on social media. No? Okay. So at Dupé, Aleru.
Can you write your name on the
Yes, of course. Oh, so that's my Instagram. If you guys end up following me on Instagram or Facebook, you will see a lot of video, right? That's my thing, okay? And here's the thing, it was probably, it was a couple days before the 4th of July. I was listening to, I love Gary Vee, so I'm probably gonna mention him a million times, all right? So I was listening to Gary Vee, and he was really talking about how underpriced Instagram and Facebook ads are, okay? He was pretty much comparing it to back in the day when Google AdWords were very cheap and people didn't jump on, and how people are gonna miss the boat if they're not really focusing on ads right now. So I'm listening, I'm like, man, I've missed the boat like 8 times by now, like maybe I should listen. And it was literally the 4th of July, a couple days later, and I was at home and I'm like, what can I do that's productive? And so I was like, you know what, let me try this Instagram ad thing one more time. And I tried it. The next morning I woke up and I freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, either Cardi B literally shared my video or someone hacked my account. Because I was like, why are all these people following me? And I had already forgotten that I had sponsored an ad. Literally within, I think, less than 12 hours, I had over 250 follows. And mind you, I sponsored it $5 a day for 6 days, $30 a week. That's it. I wasn't putting like hundreds of dollars behind the ad. Within 1 week, I gained over 1,000 followers. Within 4 weeks, that video reached 100,000 views. I gained over 4,000 followers. And I actually had a major global brand reach out to me for me to be part of their, like, I guess it was like a fitness challenge. So I was the motivational speaker for their fitness challenge. And so I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like, you know, like once you start growing, you know what I mean? Like these cool things happen. And within the last 5 months, I've gained over 10,000 followers on Instagram in 5 months. and that was all due to a sponsored video ad. So keep in mind, when you are actually doing ads on Instagram particularly, you get 3 times more engagement and comments on a video than on an image. So if you try the same tactic on an image and you're not really receiving that much feedback, it's because video gets a lot more engagement, right? So with all that being said, right, I want you guys to start thinking about what type of content can you start posting on social media. Is it going to be authoritative? Is it going to be audio content? Because now Instagram, I'm seeing a lot of people utilizing audio, right? Is it going to be video content, okay? Start thinking about that and really start doing what fits you. Because let me tell you something, video content, the reason why it's so popular, it's like the happy medium with brand storytelling, right? You can really captivate the learners or the people who are watching. And they take your visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. And that's why it's very important to do video content, right? So, I'm just like, what is going on here? Okay. So, I'm like, you guys, sorry, I'm very ADD, so with like my perfume, I'm like, what's going on? So with that being said, do you guys understand what I'm saying now?
Yes.
Can you explain, is the video, is it in your story, is it posted on there, is it the new TV?
No, it's actually on your page. So once you actually post the video on your page, you'll see a little blue button that says promotion. And once you promote, it links to your Facebook Business Manager, so you have to make sure you have a Facebook page, and that's how you can create ads. So I actually create all my ads directly on Instagram. Some people like creating on Facebook, that goes on Instagram. Does that make sense? Okay. So, and literally this is the key though. Once you gain some momentum, don't stop. Because you trigger the algorithm, right? So you don't want to stop and then, go back down. Okay, I'm giving you the 5 minutes. I can talk to you guys forever about this. All right, so what was the first C?
Clarity.
Clarity. Second C?
Content.
Okay, once you figure out what kind of content, consistency. The third C is consistency. Be consistent with it, right? So the question you should ask yourself is, what does my content pretty much calendar look like? Every single day, I account every hour of my day. I mean, you guys just see my calendar, you probably freak out, I'm a little OCD. But every hour is accounted for, and I literally put when I'm writing my scripts for my video, because I do script things out, and I remember it, and I just go, right? When I'm actually filming my videos, when I edit it, when I have photo shoots, all the content I create is there. I don't leave it up to Will, okay? So I want you guys to be consistent with it, and then also keep in mind that you want to already have it pre-drafted. So what I do is I use do you guys know the draft method? Okay, let me tell you guys real quick. So on Instagram, what you're gonna do is, you know how you're gonna go and post and put post? What you're gonna do is you're gonna backspace to where it's gonna say delete or save to draft. Instagram allows you to save multiple drafts. Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, you only can save one draft. So what I like to do is I like to draft a ton of content. That way I can pick and choose what content that I'm gonna post that morning. I don't like using Hootsuite and those schedulers because I might wake up in the morning and see something online and sparks, motivation to do a video, and I want to post that day, right? So that's my way of doing it, and I suggest that some of you guys can kind of, compile your content that way as well. And I set an alarm for me to post, so I'm pretty on top of it. So be consistent, right? And there's no guarantee. Listen, a lot of people are into the whole buying followers and all. To me, there's no hack to building an online brand, okay? Do the work and let the market decide if you're worthy of their time. And that's really the way to do that, right? Be consistent with your content. And a lot of people, because I coach people every day on this, and they say, well, I'm consistent. Well, you can post 4 times a day and still not grow, because are you hitting your target audience's pain point? Are you posting to just post? Or are you posting content that is valuable to your target audience? And that's what's key, okay? So consistency needs to be met with quality, yes? Mm-hmm. Okay? So 3 C's, clarity, right? Content and consistency. So raise your hand if you guys would like to implement this in your day-to-day in your business. Yes? Okay. Yes. So today, Manny told me to give a little offer. So today, what I usually do is I do strategy sessions. Aside of my coaching, I only do strategy sessions, and a lot of speakers, coaches, and authors reach out and say, how are you doing this on social media? Because mind you, all my bookings, I've already booked 9 engagements this year. All my bookings last year, not one time did I reach out to anybody. All my brand collaborations, all my coaching clients, everything comes from Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And that is no selling, that is literally posting content, okay? So if you guys are interested in a strategy session, what I'm going to do for you guys today, it's usually $350 for 75 minutes. If you guys text next level to 562-506-6800, you guys will get it today for $250. And again, that's a 75-minute session with me. That way we can pretty much come up with a feasible plan of action for your content on social media. Okay? All right, you guys, that's it. Thank you so much for your time.
Now, hold on. I want to make sure that we get something out of her. So what questions can we ask her? Maybe it wasn't clear, or do we have
Yeah.
any questions?
I do have a question.
Yeah, of course.
For you. Pronounce your name again?
Dupé.
Dupé. So
Yeah, let me put this slide.
my 2018
Uh-huh.
has been full of clarity, content, and consistency,
Okay.
but yet have not seen the results that I cash.
Okay.
Not even the cash, really not even the cash, as one rap song would say, the K. Not
Right.
even seen the K yet. And so I hear you talking and whatnot, and I'm still kind of like, okay, well, what am I missing? Because I've religiously, content calendar, everything, religiously.
What
all
platform are you
20
using
For
for your content?
most of it was Instagram. 2018 was pretty much 85% Instagram.
Okay. What do you do?
Life coach, motivation speaker.
Okay. And what is your what kind of videos or what kind of content were you providing?
Mostly centered around personal development.
Personal development.
Personal development.
And were you using ads? Because honestly, a lot of my growth came
That would
from.
be the only thing that I didn't do.
Okay, that's where
Is ad.
my ads. Because prior to my ads, you guys, in July, I had about maybe 7,000 followers. I'm at like almost 17,000. So in that 5 months. So you see that slow growth, over like almost 2 years to get to that 7,000. 5 months got me 10,000. So it was really boosting those ads.
When you say ads, you mean boosts or you mean?
It's the same thing. Yeah, so the boost or promotion, I guess they're just synonyms, right? So whether you promote or you boost, because I think Facebook, does it say boost or what is it?
Yeah, it's both. Boost, post.
It's boost,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So on Instagram they say promotion, on Facebook is boost, but it's just sponsoring an ad. So already creating content and then boosting it from there. And there's different strategies, like I know I don't have time to go into it all, but what I do, just so you guys know, because I don't want you guys just boosting anything, what I do is I go in my insights. You know how it says view insights? Go and check your insights. Now, if someone has saved my video 100 times and it has a lot of comments and likes, I look at the insights and a lot of the stats, and I'm like, whoa, this was a very high, stat video, then I'm gonna sponsor it. If it was low, maybe 20 people saved the video, it didn't reach maybe 2,000 views organically before I boost it, probably not going to sponsor it. Does that make sense?
It's actually a question on audiences. When you do boost it and you select the audience, do you change the audience up, or how do you decide where to put it?
That's a great question. And so what you're gonna have to do is a lot of A/B testing. And so when I got successful, I chose the right location, whether it's United States, whether it's other countries. I knew my demographic, ages 25 to 45. And then the keywords is important, right? So motivational speakers like us, you want to use keywords like other motivational speakers, Tony Robbins. You want to target people who love, Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone. So that needs to be in your interest, right? You don't want to be too vague, like motivation, inspiration, okay? I also do TEDx conferences and things like that sort, and I will test it. I'll A/B test. I will have different titles, and the ones that reach a lot of people, then that's the one I just continue to sponsor, yeah.
Just give her a round of applause, guys.
Thanks.